George had been waiting for this to happen. "It's growing," he yelled. "It's growing, Grandma. Look, it's growing." Bigger and bigger, taller and taller, it grew. Soon the hen was 4 or 5 times its normal size. "Can you see it, Grandma?" George shouted. "I can see it, boy," the old woman shouted back. "I'm watching it." George was hopping about from one foot to the other with excitement, pointing at the enormous hen and shouting, "It had the magic medicine, Grandma, and it's growing just like you did." But there was a difference between the way the hen was growing and the way Grandma grew. When Grandma grew taller and taller, she got thinner and thinner. The hen didn't. It stayed nice and plump all along. Soon it was taller than George, but it didn't stop there. It went right on growing until it was about as big as a horse. Then it stopped. Doesn't it? Doesn't it look marvelous, Grandma?" George shouted. "It's not as tall as me," Grandma sang out. "Compared with me, that hen is teachy small. I am the tallest of them all." The pig, the bullocks, the sheep, the pony, and the nanny goat. At that moment, George's mother came back from shopping in the village. She drove her car into the yard and got out. She was carrying a bottle of milk on one hand and a bag of groceries in the other. The first thing she saw was the gigantic brown hen towering over little George. She dropped the bottle of milk. Then Grandma started shouting at her from the rooftop. And when she looked up and saw Grandma's head sticking up through the tiles, she dropped the bag of groceries. "How about that then, Aunt Mary?" Grandma shouted. "I'll bet you've never seen a hen as big as that. That's George's giant hen, that is. But, stammered George's mother. "It's George's magic medicine," Grandma shouted. "You've both of us had it, the hen and I." "But how in the world did you get up on the roof?" cried the mother. "I didn't," crackled the old woman. "My feet are still standing on the floor in the living room." This was too much for George's mother to understand. She must goggled and gaped. She looked as though she was going to faint. A second later, George's father appeared. His name was Mr. Killy Cracky. Mr. Cracky was a small man